Middlesex slipped to their second successive defeat at the start of their Royal London One Day Cup campaign, going down at Lord's to Warwickshire by just 4 runs in spite of a 96 from Chris Rogers, an innings which looked as if it would be enough for his team. Varun Chopra won the toss and surprisingly decided to bat first on a greenish pitch, only for Will Porterfield to clip a ball from Tim Murtagh straight to Rogers at mid-wicket. Stephen Finn delivered an exceptional opening spell, balls such as this causing Chopra problems. Murtagh too was getting the ball to talk from time to time, as Warwickshire could only take 27 runs off the opening 10 overs of power play. With only 2 fours being struck in that time, the batsman had to run well, and Chopra just made his ground as he took on a quick single to mid-off. It was hard work for Chopra and Jonathan Trott, the total stuttering along to 63 for 1 after 20 overs, before Chopra decided he had to go on the attack by driving Neil Dexter over cover for a 6. Middlesex have been thrashed in their opening Royal London One Day Cup match on Saturday in Cardiff, but would have been pleased with their efforts here at this stage, even though Chopra and Trott did begin to pick up the rate, bringing up the 100 in the 27th over. In 22.5 overs together, they'd added 89 runs for the second wicket until Chopra, on 46, pulled Toby Rowland-Jones out to Rogers on the mid-wicket boundary. Trott then reached his 50 off 73 balls before Tim Ambrose got in a muddle against Finn and offered Dexter a catch, with a score now on 133 for 3 in over number 36. Trott now needed to make the most of his knock, and he began to open up with shots like these. He was beginning to find the gap, ensuring that his time at the crease against the newer balls had not been in vain. But having got to 78 off 108 deliveries, he mistimed a shot off Murtagh to Ravi Patel at mid-off, before looking rather suspiciously at the pitch before heading off. Trott was out in the 41st over, and in the next one, Ricky Clark was brilliantly caught off his own bowling by David Malan, who had to stretch some way to complete the dismissal. That wicket also showed that this was a Lord's pitch which was not easy to score runs quickly on. In the whole 50 overs of this innings, there were only 13 fours and 4 sixes, this being the second of them from Laurie Evans. With the overs running out, it was time for the unusual, and Atiq Javid may need to head back to the nets before trying this shot again. Rowland-Jones benefited there, but Jitan Patel now came in to throw the bat with some success. This shot carried the distance. Evans also slapped Rowland-Jones for a maximum, as 50 runs were hit off the final 5 overs, Evans making 46 from 39 balls. He was out in the last over, almost a comedy dismissal in a way. Rowland-Jones missed the first chance to run him out, but he was spared a red face as Evans in the end took on a 3rd run which wasn't there, and Rowland-Jones collected Finn's throw to send the batsman on his way. Warwickshire ended on 240 for 7 from their 50 overs, probably around a par score, although Middlesex were up against it when they lost 2 early wickets. Malan nicked off to Oliver Hannon-Dolby on 5, before Nick Gubbins followed on the same score when he edged Clark to Chopra. Middlesex could only make a score of 28 for 2 from their 10 overs of power play, but Owen Morgan and Rogers then started to find some boundaries as 44 more runs came off the next 10, the game already at this stage looking as if it might be a nail-biter. Rogers' innings was going to be the key one. He got to his 50 off 85 balls with just his 4th 4 taking him there. That stat in itself tells you that this pitch was getting no easier to play freely on, but the longer Rogers stayed in, the better his side's chances. With 20 overs to go, the home side needed 116 runs to win, but had to go on without Morgan, who on 32 gave Josh Poisden his maiden one-day wicket, LBW on the reverse sweep. This was a largely inexperienced Warwickshire attack, and so they needed to be boosted by the fielders taking the chances that were offered to them. Instead, Ryan Higgins was dropped twice, once in the deep off Poisden and then again behind off Patel. With Rogers going about his business in an untroubled manner at the other end, Middlesex was setting up a victory. They were left to get 83 off the final 15 overs. With 7 wickets in hand, they would certainly have fancied their chances, but Poisden then did hold on to a catch at extra cover to get rid of Higgins for 26 in the 39th over. Then in the next one, crucially, Rogers clipped a ball from Javid to Chopra, who held on really well to remove the Australian for 96. That left 58 runs to get off the last 10 overs, and a 6 from John Simpson put the pressure right back on the visiting bowlers. Indeed, on 206 for 5, 35 runs away from the winning line with 5 overs remaining, there appeared to be only one winner, but the game was opened up when Ambrose stumped Dexter off Poisden. 2 boundary-free overs followed, and then Simpson cut Patel to Poisden, leaving 19 to get off 11 deliveries. That was brought down to 13 off the last over, and to the first ball of it, Roland Jones was given run out, although it must have been very, very tight from Evans' throw from the deep. 2 runs came off the next 2 balls, and then Murtagh found the rope off Hannon Dolby with an edge, and that left 6 to get off 2. 1 run came off the penultimate delivery, and then Finn failed to get bat on ball, and Warwickshire had won the game. Just. It was a slender 4-run victory for the Bears, who defended a smallish score magnificently. It meant a second loss in 2 days for the home side, who'll need to respond immediately when they take on neighbours Surrey at Lords on Thursday. Warwickshire now go home for a day-nighter against Sussex, and that's on Tuesday.